Everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, so it's been a while, so we're going to do another haul video. So a few of these are some trades. I didn't do a video for them. I showed them off on Twitter, but I guess I'll show them now with some of the floppies and current issues and back issues that I got. So today, got some Fosters. Cheers. So just jump into it. So, ooh, look at that. Black Widow, Web of Intrigue. So this trade has reprints of Black Widow stories from the 80s. So there's some, excuse me. So there's some there's some George Perez art. There's some Paul Galassi stuff. That's pretty good. Both of those stories were written by Ralph Macchio. And then there's a graphic novel that was written by Jerry Conway, and the penciling is by George Friedman. And then the art is there's 6 different inkers here, but the art's really inconsistent looking. You know, there's some pretty okay stuff that looks pretty sharp. All right. And then there's some other stuff that's really, I don't know, really loose and awkward looking. But anyway, it's an interesting little trade here. Wildcats Volume 2, Volume 4, Battery Park, written by Joe Casey, artist by Sean Phillips. We all know him for his work with Ed Brubaker these days with the Criminal series. Invisibles, Volume 4, Grant Morrison, Bloody Hell Comes to America. Nice Brian Boland cover here. It says inside art is Phil Jimenez and John Stokes. All right. Okay. All right. All right. A collection of Inner City Romance by Guy Caldwell. Underground comic from the 70s. I've seen Comics Crack talk about this a bunch of times. A lot of times when I've seen it online, it was just I better not show that. It's just it's been going for more, price-wise, more than I was willing to spend for it at the time, but I just stumbled across it, so I thought I'd get it while it's hot, or while it's available, I should say. All right. Spain. Excuse me. Volume 1, Street Fighting Man. So this is a reprint of Spain Rodriguez's Trash Man comics. All right. From the late 60s. East Village Other, right? Okay. There's a lot of that. But then there also looks like there's some, there's more Trash Man stuff. But it also looks like there's some of his I'm sure I saw some of his autobiographical stuff in here too. Oh yeah, here. Spain actually used to be a member of a biker club before he became a cartoonist. So the Road Vultures. But you can tell just by the way the bikers are drawn. They kind of lean more of that sort of Marlon Brando, Wild Ones era rather than the kind of later Easy Rider type guys. All right. Okay, so now new comics. Shaolin Cowboy #1. This is Grew to Be Kin #1, I should say. Shaolin Cowboy. Mike Mignola cover. Yep, pretty cool, right? Captain America Symbol of Truth. So this is the Sam Wilson Captain America because I guess they just did that Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. And of course, they're going to have another Steve Rogers series that's coming out soon, if it's not out already. It's pretty funny though. I haven't read the comic, but they've given him the kind of these mechanical looking wings, and I can only suppose it's because that's what he's got on a TV show, even though in the comics he has these kind of energy wings or hard light constructs, but because they got to make the comics look like the TV shows, he's got mechanical wings that actually look less advanced than the thing that he's been using in the regular comics for years. But okay. Absolution #1 by Peter Milligan and Mike Yonato Jr. I've got a variant cover with by Frank Cho, so we'll see what that's like. Hit Me #1 by Christina Foss, Priscilla Petrates, Marco Lexco. I don't know. Looks like kind of a crime thriller thing, but a nice cover nonetheless. Yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. More crime stuff. Newborn #1. Newburn #1. #2. I think they might be at #6 or 7. I think there's a trade of the first art out already. I mean, so I'm jumping on this kind of late, but in King Conan #6, I think this is the end of this arc right here. I don't know if this is going to be a last Conan story or not. I'm sure I read somewhere that Marvel no longer has the license, so they're probably going to wrap up whatever Conan stories they have and Conan spin-offs probably in the next few months. And then we'll see what happens from there. Also, Catwoman Lonely City Part 2. I really like this cover here with Poison Ivy. So very nice. Okay. Now we're going to get into some back issues. So Jennifer Blood, #11. Spectacular Foes of Spider-Man, #7. #8. Ultimate Spider-Man, #88. 86. Ghost Rider Hammer Lane, #5. #6. John Byrne's Next Men, 16. 17. Frank Miller cover. Okay. Vigilante. I got a little bit interested in Vigilante only because, well, I've actually, I've read a handful of these comics over the years or whatever. I was never really into it. It's basically DC Comics version of the Punisher, but I think they play the character with a little bit more nuance and a little bit more complexity, or at least they've tried to off and on. I know price for #1 has really shot up because he's in that Peacemaker series. I haven't watched the series or whatever, but I was able to find these kind of cheap, so maybe I'll go back and get #1 again. So this is #2. All right, and then #3. And then finally, comic #2, Red Circle Comics. This is a pretty interesting comic because it's actually kind of it's not quite the same sort of level of deconstruction as stuff like Watchmen and Alan Moore and there's Miracle Man. This book come out like right around the same time. Well, it's pre-Watchmen. This is like 82, 83, something like that. Uh, Alan Moore might have been doing Miracle Man for whatever it was, Warrior, whatever, right around the same time. But you have these guys who are these old heroes are coming back and are having to deal with things in the modern world. The modern world is like the early 80s, and this is kind of a darker, more violent take on like standard superheroes. So it's pretty interesting. This is issue 2 of 6. I'm not sure if the rest of it ever came out. I'll have to like look back into it, but okay. Okay, and that's it. Got some reviews coming up. I've been trying to write little outlines and kind of shoot some videos and stuff and trying to figure out ways to make them a little bit more interesting. So when I get around to it, I should say it like that, but more reviews and things are coming up soon. I've actually got some old reviews from like months ago that I shot that I never uploaded just because they were just a little bit too boring. So that's why the last few videos I've been trying to mess around with like editing and just having better scripts rather than me just kind of flip through the comic and stuff and show you the pages and whatnot. So anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.